Tell us
Um,
about the PEP. There's always a PEP to be discussed. I've learned about a couple of new PEPs in the 3.9 time frame.
right. So this is the 310 time frame. So we we're everybody should be using 3.8 now, and you should be testing 3.9 if you, especially if you have a package that depends on that people depend on, so that when 3.9 is then official, it'll all work. But people are already working on 310, of course, and one of the PEPs for 310 is PEP 622, and it's not official yet. It's in draft status, but there's some cool people working on it, including Guido, and I think it's super cool. Have you taken a look at this?
I have taken a look at it. Uh, it starts out to me feeling like a switch statement, but
Yeah.
there's a lot more going on here.
So it's called structural pattern matching, and right off the bat, they note that there have been previous PEPs before that have tried to put switch case statements in Python, and they've been rejected. I don't know why they were rejected. It's kind of something I didn't pay attention to, but this, yes, instead of a switch case, it's a match case statement and a multiple statements. But the neat thing is there's all these different. So when we think of like a switch case statement in like from C, there's it matches by equality or value. You switch on some variable name and or some expression, and the if the answer matches one of the case statements, then you run that part of the code. Um, but this has, so that would be in the PEP 622 world. That sort of a use model would be like the literal pattern or the uh, constant value pattern, basically with equality and stuff. Um, there's, but it does more than that. You've got name patterns, so that if you just have a whatever, if these will always, if nothing else succeeds prior to it, you can just have a variable name, and it just assigns the whatever you're passing in to that name, and you can use it there. And that one, what's my first thought was, what's the big deal? You already have the variable name or the value, but this new value in the name pattern is only available in that. It isn't assigned otherwise if that didn't get hit. So that's kind of some useful, neat things. Constant patterns kind of the same, but then it gets interesting. So I think it'd be worth it just for that. But you've got sequence patterns where you can do, it works like unpacking assignment stuff. You've got mapping patterns that are like similar to sequences but for like dictionaries, and class patterns where it can you can have a custom class or a class that it might be, and you have a match object. It's similar to an equality, but you could have, it could be different than equality. And then you can combine them with ORs, so you can match cases if multiple things are true, like a Boolean expression in there. I don't think it's a full Boolean expression, but at least ORs work for or pipes. Guards, so you can say if this pattern matches, and then have an extra if expression, so you can clarify it even more. And then even sub patterns, and at that point I kind of got lost. So there's a lot here, and I don't think it's going to clutter Python up. Actually, I've seen some examples of how this would dramatically simplify some Python. So
Yeah, it's interesting. What's surprising to me is how many types of things it's trying to do at once, right? Like it's not just like, oh, let's have a switch statement with like a slight variation. Like there's a ton of stuff going on, including things like if you switch on an enumeration, you can just say dot attribute and it'll try to like pull that attribute out of that type and check it. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. One thing that it's missing here that I would love to see is range matching. Right.
oh,
So I could say it's in the range of 0 to 10, match this case. If it's a range of 11 to 100, do this other thing. Actually, so I have my package, the switchling package, which adds switch to Python, and it has those types of things. So I actually sent that over to one of the people working on this PEP and said, hey, this is really cool. Check out some of the ideas from this one. Like especially the range matching, and see if it makes sense here, because it's so common that you would want to say like, this range is this case, that range is that case, and so on. And we even talked about a package a while ago. I can't remember exactly what it was called, which is unfortunate. We've covered too many things, but it was basically you could give a like a number or a value, and then this range, and you could ask, is this thing in that range, in some real simple ways. So it'd be cool if like that was all combined.
You might be able to do it with the if guard though. So you could say like, match X if X is within, in this range. So,
Yep. Yep.
yeah.
It's true. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, at that point, like if you're writing a lot of complicated if statements, you might as well just write if statements. Right.
Yeah, yeah. Although I mean, it just always, it always, I don't like it when I see like the if else ladders, and so there's but there's also, so I think that this is more than, of course, more than just replacing the if else ladders. It's also doing things like unpacking and other sorts of cool stuff. But you're right.
Yeah,
There's a lot going on here.
there is, but it's cool to see innovation around this. I do feel like that general idea is missing from Python. I know people say you could just use a dictionary or stuff, but there's like a lot of cases where if else is buggy, hard to maintain, or like these other cases are very, verbose, and so on. Anyway, I'm happy to see this. I think, depending on how it
Yep.
comes out, it's very complicated, but the idea is good.